You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow Stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hi there, Sarah. How's it going?
How's it going? it's going well.
It's all going.
It's all going, and it's going to keep going, is what we actually know. And this week, we're going to look at episode 48, which is the week of Sunday, August 7th through Saturday, August 13th. We're in Leo. You said a bit of a jumbled week. There's a full moon. Where to start?
Yeah, well, the week starts out with Lammas, which is quite beautiful. It's in the Christian tradition. It's the blessing of the harvest, the first harvest, and the making of bread and the blessing of the first loaves. Mm-hmm. So that's that, and this is a cross-quarter day. So the sun is at 15 degrees of the fixed sign Leo, and any of the middle degrees, the 15-degree points of the fixed signs, are considered power gates because they are markers of the zodiac in the agricultural timekeeping tradition. So we're more than halfway through summer. We're just about to, we have one more month and another 45 days to get to the equinox, the autumnal equinox in September. And so this marks a time when we can look at Lammas. We can also look at the chart of Lammas as a prognosticator for the final season, basically, or the final period of the season. So it is a bit of a mixed bag because there's some really soothing energies that we can tap into with Venus and Neptune. And but there's also some really harsh energies that continue to be activated at the full moon time by the sun and the moon. And I'm talking about a T-square from the sun and the moon back to a squaring angle from the sun on one side of the zodiac and the moon on the other side of the zodiac back to Mars, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have a fixed T-square, which is somewhat irretractable. It's a kind of energy because it's fixed. So you have the sun in the fixed sign Leo. You have the moon in the fixed sign Aquarius, conjunct Saturn, by the way, which is another element of just wanting to nail things down, wanting to structure stuff. But how do you structure air, right? How do you manage air? So Saturn is busy trying to nail down air, and the moon is kind of cozying up to Saturn. So we have Saturn and the moon in Aquarius. We have the sun in Leo. And both of those planets, orbiting bodies, are making a square to Uranus, the North Node, and Mars. In Taurus, which is also a fixed sign. Yes. Right? So that's hot. It's very hot, and it's somewhat intractable. The energy is fixed. It's not, doesn't want to move. It doesn't like to be challenged. If it is challenged, it's all over you with its opinion. So, and its opinion, it won't stop. It will not move out of its position. Okay. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying the fixed signs are bad because of that, because there is a stability that they offer, a loyalty, a persistence on the good side. But when you're coupling all of that fixed energy, that becomes a stubbornness that is entrenched. Right. You don't get to move that stuff with just words. It can come to blows. People can get into fights when they don't, either step back or reconsider their positions or just let it go. So there's a lot of energy in the week where people may not want to let go of their position or what they believe. Or what they say. Right. There's more I could say about that, but I'll just leave it at that. So Tuesday we have our first challenge. So we have Venus opposing Pluto. Yeah. And Venus is in Cancer. And Pluto is in Capricorn, so they're really kind of, it's like the personal is kind of coming up against the corporate. The moon's in Capricorn as well, so that lends additional weight to Pluto in Capricorn. The moon will trine Mercury, and it will square Jupiter, and it will quincunx the sun. So the moon is really, really active on Tuesday. And the other thing that's happening is Mercury on the 9th, it's making, the moon's making a trine to Mercury. The moon's making a square, so the moon's in Capricorn. It's making a square to Jupiter in Aries. So there's a lot of feelings that might get expressed on Tuesday because the moon is making aspects to Mercury, and Mercury is in Virgo, which is the sign that it rules. And also Mercury is making a quincunx to Jupiter. So there's big ideas that want to be expressed, but it's not the time and the place. It's like the wrong time, the wrong place.
Yeah.
There's too much tension.
Yeah.
Plus the moon is trine to Uranus. So again, we're getting this recall, this reverberation of issues from the previous week when we had this triple conjunction on August 1st of Mars, Uranus, and the North Node. So whatever came up at that time, whatever came up, and that's on either side of the 1st of August, some kind of startling revelation or news. Whatever has come up will be reverberated in the following week on Tuesday, and there's so much that has to be discussed. But it's not the time and the place. It's like the wrong platform. There's misunderstanding. It's like there's the jumble of things. Wednesday, the moon conjuncts Pluto. So the moon's in Capricorn. It's conjuncting Pluto. So there may be a lot of news that comes up around corporate or government or policy, something like that.
Right.
The moon then also opposes Venus. So the previous day, Venus opposed Pluto in Capricorn. Then the next day, the moon opposes Venus. So there's this kind of like... almost like pounding on the individual, like there's this big brother kind of sensibility or big government, big business kind of pushing down or squashing down or confronting the individual nature. Yeah, so that's why I'm seeing that there's so much in this week that just is just like the individual versus the larger corporate government.
You had made the statement that a little restraint can go a long way this week, that, maybe the first reaction to want to jump up, speak out, run to the streets may not be the best first course of action.
Right. There's the propensity for anger. Like that's the first response, right? Because of Mars and Uranus and the North Node being involved.
Okay.
Thursday, things get heightened even more with the full moon. So the approach of that full moon is kind of revving. And then you've got the actual full moon where the moon moves out of Capricorn into Aquarius and makes a conjunction to Saturn.
Right.
And then opposes the sun in Leo. And then both of them square, make 90-degree angles from opposite ends of the zodiac. They're making 90-degree angles to Mars, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus.
Yeah.
And that's again like so whatever came up on August 1st is again like reiterated at this full moon with all of that energy from the sun and the moon. So the sun in Leo is the individual. The moon in Aquarius is the collective, pointing at the North Node, Mars and Uranus, which are still, even though it's a week past August 1st when they had their conjunction, they're still within orb. They're still together in Taurus. So again, that's middle Taurus. So you have, again, a fixed middle of Taurus.
Yes, that's right.
Which is expressly fixed. All of the power gates of the fixed sign are holding. They hold. That's part of their job. They're holding the corners. They're holding the square in the year. They're holding space. Yeah. So when you get placements in those aspects, they are holding. There's like a certain charge that they carry. Yeah. In those particular middle, they're called the fire gates of the fixed signs. So there's a charge there. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yep.
I just want to caution everyone to just step back 5 paces in your mind, in your body, in your soul. Just step back from the precipice of launching into something that you may regret.
Well, and the benefit for that action, too, is that others around you will also respond in kind. So in a way, the restraint you show can also be a benefit to the people around you. So even if you're not particularly worked up around a particular thing, the energy you hold for calm restraint, to be a listening ear, to help talk someone else back is energy well spent, I would argue.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you, Sarah. And as Carolyn Casey says, also be the balm, BALM, be the balm that, be in your center, which is also a Leo heart trait. So in the time of this full moon, you have that option of holding your center in Leo.
That feels like a good segue for the card that came out tonight. And as we're speaking, and it really flew out of the deck. I was surprised at the velocity at which it came out of the deck, it's a Rider-Waite card. It's the Strength card, which is this sort of calm, benevolent woman. I think it's the feminine character. And she's basically got the head of the lion. And I interpret it that she's sort of calming the lion, is demonstrating her not so much power over the lion, but the connection of soothing the lion versus like whipping the lion up into a frenzy like a circus master would. And this idea of strength, like holding your strength. Strength doesn't have to be a demonstration in an aggressive way. You don't have to aggressively demonstrate strength. You can also demonstrate strength in stillness and calm and reserve. That to me is what this card sort of speaks to.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's holding the third eye of the animal. She's also holding the throat and the third eye, which are basically in energy medicine yoga, those are holding points for trauma. So they're neural lymphatic holding points. So you can press there, just hold. You don't have to push in like you're collapsing your sternum, but just hold there and breathe.
Amazing.
And just let the breath breathe you, follow it in, follow it out, and that will help to calm.
Right.
So that image is calming the wildness inside. It's the beast of the wild creature, the instinct, the animal nature, like calming that. And it's also a call to reconnect with nature, that there is a connection, with nature, like go out and hold a tree or put your hands on the ground to discharge any negative sense, negative energy. And it really is quite remarkable. The movie Earthing is available on YouTube. You can watch it. It's been documented. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's a very documented, EKG, echocardiogram, whatever, however they did it. I can't remember everything, but they have documented the significance of to the system, to the human body system of releasing. It's this ionic exchange.
This full moon is also when Venus is changing signs into Leo. Does that happen at the same time that the moon is full? Because this card also reminds me of, if this were a figure, to me it is Venus with Lion.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, Venus goes into Leo at the same time of this full moon. So there is this available. This is available to us. Venus, the love nature, the relationship, the nature of relationship. Harnessing the heart and love and pulling into that space. Know that there's a bigger purpose to just hold your own heart and then hold others in your heart, and just have that be your center. Yeah. There's also an aspect at this new moon of Mars sextile Neptune, which is... it can accelerate the confusion. So there are things that we don't know that may be clouded or misunderstood or confused. So the power of Mars in Taurus is making a sextile to Neptune in Pisces, which can give us access to the subconscious, the unconscious, the dream time. So you can go there as well. There's access there, but I would caution you don't want to spiral into worst case scenario, which is possible with Mars in Neptune. You can quickly go down to the bottom layer of the rabbit hole. Like you can really get all gloom and doom. So that energy is available to us but just kind of keep it on the high vibe side.
Good advice in general.
Yes. Now, the moon stays in Aquarius and meets up with Saturn exactly on Friday. So there might be some, little leftovers from the full moon on Friday. And then late in the day on Friday, the moon will go into Pisces, which it absolutely loves. And that gives us a rest and digest period. Yeah, and a big sigh. Yeah.
Nice.
To just take the weekend and just completely unplug and go hug a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we want to throw in the Sabian symbol for the moon?
Why not? It's such a beautiful symbol. Why don't we head out with that?
So the Sabian symbol for the moon in Aquarius at 20 degrees Aquarius, so it's 19 degrees, 21 minutes, rounded up to 20 degrees Aquarius. So the Sabian symbol from my wonderful book, An Astrological Mandala by my favorite author, Dane Rudhyar, is a large white dove bearing a message. And the keynote that he gives this symbol is the answer of spiritual agencies to thorough, sustained, and victorious individual efforts. So I'm seeing that as, stay in your center, keep moving forward, don't get derailed.
Right.
And, this is the best way to proceed and calling on the higher powers, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough. Thank you.
We can also look at the sun if you want.
Sure. That's just 20 degrees Leo.
So the degree for the sun at 20 degrees Leo is Zuni Indians perform a ritual to the sun. It might also be possible at the time of this full moon to just offer peace and blessings out into the world, as a personal ritual to calm the storm. If not for you personally, but just like in the Tibetan tradition, they write a message on a piece of material and then tie it to a building or a fence, or the prayer flags is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, prayer flag. Yeah.
That message then is taken by the wind out into the world. I mean, that's the same idea, that there's a ritual that you can perform, just a small ceremony, maybe with a candle, just to offer a moment of peace for blessings for the world. And that might be enough, if we all did that, it could be amazing.
Absolutely. Episode 48, we're coming on almost a year of doing this stargazing together. Awesome. It's really amazing. And we really appreciate all the support. You can email us at connect@SisterStargazers. So until next week, keep calm, carry on, stay cool.
Yes. Yeah. Be in your heart.
Thanks, Jude.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
All right. We'll see you all next week.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.